championships since 1989. Kure Speed Shop out of Tiffin, Ohio has been in the racing business since 1969, serving teams all over the world. When you see the red Kure Speed Shop van in the pit area, make sure to stop and thank them for all that they do for sprint car racing for more than 50 years. The Rudine Racing 26 car on the pole of this heat race. Many of you may know the Rudine name represented by that car, but you may not know about the Race Rudine Foundation. 4 years ago, Kevin Rudine tragically lost his son Race to an overdose. In order to honor his life and keep his memory alive, his family decided to start a private foundation to help others. Today, the Race Rudine Foundation is a certified nonprofit that gives grant money to organizations and programs that encourage a healthy and productive life free from addiction. It is their goal to help fill the gaps in a broken system of addiction prevention, treatment, and recovery. 100% of all donations they receive go directly programs, which means every penny donated gets straight to those who need it most. The Rudine family is passionate about preventing others from suffering the same loss they have. To learn more, please visit racerudine.org, and got to give a specific shout out to the Frolic Bar and Grill tailgating at Hobstop for the USAC National Sprint Car Race. And I know they got Blue Yummies there, Earl. So Gary Parker, gang. Gary likes to lose bets to me, so I think he does owe me a case of Busch Light.
Hey, and it was good to see. I saw on social media the other night the headquarters for the Trunk Bar.
Yeah.
That was good to see. But we got the junior fan of the night on the flag stand, ready to wave the green flag for the first heat race of the evening here for the Keith Kauffman Classic at Port Royal Speedway.
Green at the PWR Cooling Technology start zone, and off of turn number 4, they light the fire. We're green. Drag race into turn number 1. Corey Eliason wins the drag race, but Danny Dietrich right there on the high side. Ian Madsen and Tony Stewart battle for third. Madsen hangs on to third.
Ian Madsen looking good in the 11. Dietrich's going to follow Eliason on the bottom side there in turn number 4. Contact between the 11 of Madsen and the 14 of Stewart momentarily. They straighten back everything back out, and Corey Eliason, he'll lead lap number 1.
Tony Stewart needs to stay in that 4th spot because that's the dash redraw spot, because he's the fastest car in the heat race. If he loses that spot, Ian Madsen would take that spot. Now Stewart going after Madsen for 3rd as we come to lap number 2.
Remember, the top 4 cars move into the 30-lap A main event here tonight. Right now, your leader is the 26 of Corey Eliason. 2nd, the 48 of Danny Dietrich. 3rd, the 11 of Ian Madsen. 4th is the 14 of Tony Stewart. Stewart now trying to make something happen through the middle. He has to run there off of turn number 4. Close quarters. Ian Madsen took that line away. Now Ian Madsen, he's going to go back down low in turns number 1 and 2. Smoke's going to try to ride the cushion on the top side. Can't quite make it.
Tony Stewart going after Ian Madsen. Ian Madsen starting to crawl his way up the point standings, up into the 5th spot after a heartbreak at Virginia. Tony Stewart picked up the win that night. Keep in mind, A-Main lined up by finishing position after the dash, so Ian Madsen, if he can hang on, Dallas Shot loses power in the 55S car. We'll see if he can limp it around to the backstretch exit as we come to 5 down and 3 to go.
Stewart still trying to work that middle line there in turns number 3 and 4. He's right on the bumper of the 3rd place car, Madsen. Madsen working down low. Man, he just looks so strong there, riding the bottom side as he puts 5 car lengths in between him and Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart and Ian Madsen battling as Corey Eliason starts to check out with 2 to go. Eliason, a 2-time winner here at Port Royal. Won opening day a year ago and then picked up the opening night of the 3-night Tuscarora 50 weekend last September. Very comfortable here at Port Royal, and he'll take the white flag in Ford Performance Heat 1.
1 more lap to go. Stewart's going to put another shot on Madsen. Madsen slides high. Now Tony Stewart turns the car. They drag race into turn number 1, and Stewart just can't get through. Now the motor looks like it stumbled a little bit. Ian Madsen pulling away. Meanwhile, making his way off of turn number 4, checker flag is out, and winning the first heat race of the night is going to be the 26 of Corey Eliason.
Eliason, Dietrich, Madsen, and Stewart, your transfer cars. So Ford Performance heat race number 1 comes to a close. Finish looks like this. 9th to the 20 of Alex Bright, 8th to the 55S of Dallas Shot, 7th to the 25 of Tyler Bear, 6th to the 35H of Zach Hampton, and 5th to the 55 of Hunter Schoenberg. Those cars will not transfer into tonight's main event. Cars locking into tonight's A-main through the heat race and into the dash. The fastest qualifier, 4th, is Tony Stewart. 3rd goes to the 11 of Ian Madsen. 2nd to the 48 of Danny Dietrich, and picking up the win in Ford Performance heat race number 1. It is Corey's 2nd heat race win of the year. How about a round of applause for Corey Eliason? While he's making his way to Brad, we'll give the lineup for heat race number 2. On the pole from St. Helena, California, driving the Abreu Vineyards, Rowdy Energy Drink, Self-Made Racing, Lucas Oil, Curb Records 24R is Rico Abreu. To the outside from Angola, Indiana, the Sundollar Restoration, Quick Pits Auto, Jason Dietz Trailer Sales, Bill's Towing and Repair 10 is Zeb Wise.
Rolling off third from Heartland, Wisconsin, and Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, Wise Cup Siding, Mr. Jim's Racing, XYZ Machining, Utica Country Bar. Car number 17B, it's going to be Bill Balag. And on the outside of him, he was quick time overall. Got that $200 extra courtesy of Packers Concessions. He comes from Dillsburg, PA. And the Valley Supply, J&S Fabrication, C&D Rigging, Randy Shear Plumbing and Heating, Macri Concrete. Car number 39, Emma, of Anthony Macri.
Inside of the third row from Myerstown, Pennsylvania, the M&M Painting and Construction, Babsettle Paint and Supply, Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel, Nice Crete and Landis. Number 5 is the Myerstown Missile. Brent Marks, and starting 6th, the 2013 track champion from Sealands Grove and the Creasy Signs. Sealands Grove Ford, Packers Concessions, MPR Transport. Number 12 is Blaine Heimbach.
And rolling off 7th from Monrovia, Indiana, and the CoastalRaceParts.com, the Tree Center, RPM Chassis, HP Engines. Car number 13 is Justin Peck. And on the outside of him in row number 4, from Republic, Ohio, and the Blake's Hard Cider, MCS Manufacturing, Big D's Pizza, Top Line Titanium. Car number 4 of Cap Henry.
Final starter from Enola, Pennsylvania, the Bruner Service Centers, Chet's Trunks, Middleton's Roofing and Siding. Number 47K is Cody Lehman. And with that, we'll send it down to Brad Strasser on pit road.
So picking up the win here in heat race number 1, we're with the number 26 of Corey Eliason. Corey Eliason, you kind of jumped out there pretty far here in heat number 1 and set yourself up for a good spot here in the dash.
Yeah, you know, we struggled a little bit in qualifying, but we were trying something, and you know, with the way the format works, it kind of allows us to do that, and you know, we're still made it on the front row and made it in the dash. So you know, it's kind of tough being the first heat race, not really knowing how the track's going to be. As you know, it comes out, packs it in, so you really don't know where it's going to run. But I think by the time we get to the feature, it should be a good racetrack.
All right, well, we'll send it back up to you guys. Corey Eliason picking up heat race number 1.
Thank you, Brad. And hey, don't forget Corey Eliason. He's $250 richer, courtesy from our friends at Valley Supply.
Heat race number 2 is brought to you by our friends at All Pro Aluminum Cylinder Heads, developed by the best in cylinder head design for top engine builders worldwide. The family-owned business of Bob and Susie Williams is proud to manufacture all-American-made cylinder heads in Johnstown, Ohio, and hope you're having a great night watching on FloRacing, Bob and Susie.
This heat race is also brought to you by Event Septic Services of Landisburg. They're proudly servicing as Port Royal Speedway's official portable restroom provider. Events provide septic tank cleaning and repairs, portable restroom rentals, and more for Perry, Juniata, and Cumberland counties. Make sure you give them a call at 717-789-4548 or also reach them on the web at www.eventsepticserviceinc.com. We also have the 50-50 girls making their way through the grandstand at this time. Last time I was told the 50-50 is close to $2,000. So make sure you get 50-50 tickets. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.
Look for Hercules Tires at the track this season, and check out Hercules Tires on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up with all the action. Are your tires up to the task? Commercial tires from Hercules have the strength to get the job done. Count on Hercules Tires for the power to pull ahead. Boats, lawnmowers, campers, no matter what you're towing, trust Hercules Trailer Tires for the power to pull. Learn more at HerculesTire.com. For Performance Ford Raptor Pace Truck diving into the infield.
Also, the John Schaefer Dodge Pace Truck making that hard left-hand turn into the infield as well. As we are lights out, Blake, we are about to go green at the chalk line there in turn number 4.
Tighten the belts. A pair of former USAC Midget winners on the front row. A USAC Midget Rookie of the Year and a USAC Midget Champion. Green, the PWR Cooling Technology restart zone off at turn 4.
Rico Abreu, Zeb Wise drag race down the front stretch. Who's going to lead him into one? It's going to be the 24 of Rico Abreu. Zeb Wise trying to turn the car. He's right there. Here comes the number 5 of Brent Marks.
Zeb Wise second in All-Star points. He's on the move. Brent Marks is the man on a mission, though. Marks had to use a provisional last night. Stormed from 25th to 13th, picking up Hercules Tire Hard Charger. Tonight, looking to make it a little bit easier on himself. He's got 10 career wins here at Port Royal, 2 of them in All-Star action, and Anthony Macri all over Baylog for the final transfer.
There goes Macri. He's going to show his nose to Baylog. They drag race off of turn number 4. Billy Baylog looking pretty good in the 17B as he worked right through the dust there in the middle of turns 3, 4. Sideways, Macri taps the guardrail. Turns number 1 and 2, slowing to a stop. Heimbach almost got into him. Anthony Macri will come to a rest. Caution flag is out.
Caution flag flies. Anthony Macri pulls to a stop. Macri, boy, he gets around this place well set, quick time. You see Anthony climbing out of the 39M car on FloRacing.
You could see Dale Blaney calling for a wrecker for the 39M there in turn number 2. So he tapped the guardrail pretty hard there in the middle of turns number 1 and 2. So something obviously going awry with the rear end of that car. You could see Anthony Macri showing some displeasure there to, looks like the 17B of Bill Baylog. So we're going to have to see how that goes throughout the night. But unfortunate events for tonight's fast qualifier.
Well, he'll hop in the side-by-side with Steve Topper, All-Star official. Macri just needed to finish in the top 4 to lock into the dash redraw, but lucky for him, the 5th to 7th spot cars go to the B main, 8th on back to the C. Well, the front row of the B main is the 2 fastest non-transfers. Here's a replay, and Baylog just got sideways, just a little loose in the corner, and Macri nothing he could do.
Yeah, Macri checked up and just tapped the guardrail. Another one here for everyone tuning in on the FloRacing. Baylog sideways there in turn number 1. Macri checked up and just got up into the loose stuff there, and the guardrail sucked him right in.
Just a racing deal there.
Yep, absolutely.
Baylog got in a little hot, nearly got sideways, saved it, and Anthony had to do something to react to it and got sucked into the wall. But as we were saying, the front row of the B is the 2 fastest non-transfers. It's kind of a safety net, so Anthony will be on the front row of tonight's Classic Inc. USA B main. And with that being said, Bill Baylog, if he can hold it in the top 4, would be in the dash redraw. Bill has just had terrible luck here this weekend. He's 11th in points for the 10-time IRA champion. Lost a tire running in the top 10 at Virginia, and then last night broke running in the top 10, or right around 10th at Williams Grove. So the points aren't indicative of the speed that he's had. Brent Marks was the man on the move. Marks started 5th. He's up into the 3rd spot. Rico Abreu has had a tough weekend as well. Got upside down, bent the axle on the first night, had to transfer through the B, and last night did not make it into the main event.
But look who's in 5th. Right now he's on the outside looking in. He's one of the hottest drivers in America. Thought he was going to pull off another win early on here in the 2021 racing season. Thursday down at the Virginia Motor Speedway, and then fortunately he blew a tire, but he showed so much speed. Justin Peck also has a win here this season, pretty much shocking the world. So right now the 13 of Justin Peck, he's on the outside looking in. He's in 5th. They take 4 into the A main.
Mark Birch is watching, sprint car owner, and we talked about him a little bit with all weekend with the Team Jack Foundation raising money for pediatric cancer. And Mark he's a racer himself, and he said it looked like maybe a little oil got on the tire, creating, as they say, the oil slick. And Bill got sideways. He was able to save it, the North Pole Nightmare.
And Brad Strasser, we'll send it down to you real quick. You were able to look at the 39M of Macri's car when he drove by you there in the infield in turn 3.
Oh, yeah, a lot of damage to the right side of that car, Earl. Just unlucky. Unfortunate event for a car that has been so fast week in and week out. We've seen this happen to him before, just a few in turns number 1 and 2. We'll see maybe if they can get any repairs done here and get back later tonight.
You are absolutely right. As Blake, we are lights out. We're going to go green here at the cone on the front stretch.
2 down, 6 to go. Rico Abreu, Zeb Wise, Brent Marks, your top 4. Then on the outside looking in, All-Star points leader and Port Royal's winner this year, Justin Peck, Blaine Heimbach, 6th, Cap Henry 7th, and Cody Lehman 8th. And we're back to green at the PWR Cooling Technology Restart Zone.
Abreu will lead him down in the turns number 1 and 2. Zeb Wise, Macri's going to follow through. Here comes Justin Peck. He's going to make that pass on Billy Baylog, move the 13 into that final transfer spot.
Well, Zeb Wise now would be the fastest transfer, and he was 3rd quick in the group in qualifying. He sits in the 2nd spot. Baylog has his hands full with Cap Henry. Last night, Cap Henry timed in 34th out of 35 cars, drove it to the final transfer, and made the A main an impressive run for the Lane Racing 4 and just his 8th ever start at Williams Grove Speedway. Baylog not backing down, though. He'll mount a charge at the 13 of Justin Peck for the final transfer.
Yeah, he tried to work that bottom side there in turns number 3 and 4. He's going to go right back down low. He shows his nose to Justin Peck. They're off for turn number 2, but Peck, he has the momentum as he works the cushion, and he's going to hold right in that 4th spot for now.
Rico Abreu been working hard this week trying to find speed in that Rowdy Energy number 24 car, and he looks sporty tonight. It's rolling. Starting to pull away from Zeb Wise. Wise, 18 years old with a new team this year, a family team. Wise Pretty Racing, pairing up with Wayne and Stephanie Pretty as a crew chief is Wayne Pretty. And we come to lap number 6 down, 2 to go, Earl.
2 to go on top of the Bobby Ray Hall Toyota scoreboard. Rico Abreu looking good in car number 24. He's pulled out to about a 15-car length lead over the number 10 of Zeb Wise, and it's about the same with the third place car of Brent Marks. All 3 cars working the top side of the racetrack. As they see, the white flag is out. 1 more lap to go, Blake.
Earl, if you remember last September at the Tuscarora 50, Rico Abreu probably was on his way to picking up a $53,000 payday till a tire went flat in turn 2. Well, he's looking for redemption tonight. He'll pick up the win in All-Pro Aluminum Cylinder Heads Heat Race number 2. Zeb Wise, Brett Marks, and Justin Peck punched their tickets into the main event as well. Ninth place to the 39M of Anthony Macri, and 8th to the 47K of Cody Lehman. Macri will be on the front row of the B. Lehman will head to the C. 7th goes to the 4 of Cap Henry, 6th to the 12 of Blaine Heimbach, and 5th to the 17 of Bill Baylog. They'll head to tonight's B main event. Cars locking into the Keith Kauffman Classic main event. 4th to the 13 of Justin Peck, 2nd to the 5 of Brent Marks. Or 3rd to the 5 of Brent Marks, excuse me. 2nd and the fastest transfer to the 10 of Zeb Wise. He'll go to the dash redraw and picking up the win in All-Pro Aluminum Cylinder Heads Heat Race number 2. His first heat race win of the year with the All-Stars. How about a round of applause for Rico Abreu? Hunt Brothers Pete's Heat Race number 3 going to roll onto the track next. On the pole from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Fence by Maintenance Service, Ferguson Heating and Air Conditioning, Red Robin, Trinega Construction 2 is AJ Flick. And to the outside from Ephrata, Pennsylvania, the Risser Grain, the Tree Center, FXG Sign and Label, ACP Headers, number 45 is Jeff Halligan.
Second row looks like this. Rolling off 3rd from Fayetteville, PA, the Schonhauer Plumbing, Rapid Tire, Hess Iron, Kreitz Overtrack Products. Car number 69K, it's going to be Lance DeWeese. And then on the outside of him from Nashville, Tennessee, in the R.E. Pearson Construction High Performance Lubricants, Nice Crete and Land. It's car number 23, it's going to be Paul McMahon.
3rd row to the inside, he comes to us from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the Golden Flavor Sesame Sticks, 600cc Performance, Buds, Spring, and Suspension. AB Auto Glass number 98 is Jared Esch. And to the outside, making his first sprint car start of the season with the new team with Josh Botman behind him, the Mercedes Motorsports, Fisher Body Shop, Hollywood Blasting and Coating number 42 is Silent.
Starting 7th from Port Royal, PA, in the Valley Supply, Dryden, SCA Incorporated, Gibbsville Cheese. Car number 2C, it's Dylan Sisney. And rolling off 8th in this heat race from Carlisle, PA, in the Sealands Grove Ford, Ritter Racing, Wise Markets, Hartscraft Millworks, car number 35S of Jason Schultz.
Final starter from Everett, Pennsylvania, the R&N Tires, Key State Ag, Tri-County Abstract, Remax, Lake Olivia, and Country Wagner. Number 880 is Drew Ritchie, and with that, we will send it down to Brad Strasser.
So picking up the win here in heat race number 2 in the Rowdy Energy number 24, it's Rico Abreu, and you also picked up $250 courtesy of Valley Supply. We talked a little bit earlier before the night started, Rico, about how the track may change from time trials to the heat race, and did it look a little bit different?
Yeah, it just moved up a little bit there. As I hit 1 and 2, I just tried to really focus on hitting my marks and didn't want someone to get, a big run down the backstretch on me, so I just moved around down at that end, and my car got better and better as it went on.
All right, well, he put himself in a good spot here for the dash later on, picking up the win in heat race number 2.
Thank you, Brad. Keep up the great work down there. He'll be giving you all the action that's going to be happening around the Speedway tonight. He'll also be doing some reporting in the work area come feature time, so keep
Hopefully
up the
not.
work. Hopefully
We
not.
hope not. We hope
but
not.
He's there if we need him.
He is, absolutely. 13th career heat race win for Rico Abreu, the 2014 USAC National Midget Champion and the 2-time Chili Bowl champion. AJ Flick on the pole. AJ, a 4-time track champion over at Lernerville Speedway. Sits 9th in points here at Port Royal and has 2 career Port Royal Speedway wins. Well, hopefully you're keeping up with your dirt draft lineup. We'll see who can make their way through the field. We're crowning a dirt draft fantasy champion, taking all of our races, earning points every night, and at the end of the year, we'll invite the overall champion to our All-Star Banquet. So it's not too late. You can get in there and have some good runs. Download the Dirt Draft app today or go to dirtdraft.com. Enter promo code ALLSTARS to get half off your first month. Live timing and scoring, Earl, follow along the My Race Pass app. Got lineups in there, too. And the Earl Hoon bio, we got to update that on there.
Yeah, we might want to update that.
We got to update the age to 32.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Beers are on me, guys.
Yep.
Thank you. But here we go. Lights are out. We're going to go green on Hunt Brothers Pizza number 3. They're in turn number 4.
Jeff Halligan with a monster run down the backstretch. Look at that run early. Kind of diamond off the corner right across the nose. And here comes the Baby Blue 69. Lance DeWeese on the move in car number 69K.
AJ Flick's not going away, though. They drag race him in the turns to put the 69K of Lance DeWeese into second. However, Flick right there. Where does Flick go in 3? He goes up high, gets a run. But here comes Lance DeWeese charging on the bottom.
Lance DeWeese on the move, but Jeff Halligan, a former winner here at Port Royal Speedway, leading the way, and he's got the 69K hot in his tracks. DeWeese 2 times the winner already this year at Port Royal. A little smoke off the left side, but as Brad Doty says, who's watching online, usually out that left embankment, things are okay.
Absolutely, and then had a battle behind him momentarily between the 98 of Jared Esch and the 42 of Cy Lynch. A little bit of smoke coming out of the left engine side of the 42 of Lynch, but he's still under pace. Now we got a battle brewing for third there off of turn number 4 between the deuce of AJ Flick and the 23 of Paul McMahon halfway.
Paul McMahon just needed to stay into that 4th spot to lock into the dash redraw, but Jared Esch trying to close on in car number 98. As McMahon goes after AJ Flick for the 3rd spot. McMahon closing in as another one clicked off for Jeff Halligan. 5 down and 3 to go.
Jeff Halligan has been strong all year long here in regular sprint car competition at the Port Royal Speedway. He got his first career 410 win right here last year. He has 3 top 5 finishes in a main competition so far with a runner-up finish. He's looking good in heat race number 3. He sees twin sticks in the air. Just 2 more laps to go.
Well, Halligan pulling away from DeWeese now. Boy, DeWeese was closing in, and Halligan kicked it in high gear. The doctor's jacket in the air, 1 to go for Jeff Halligan.
A 45 of Jeff Halligan is leaving everyone in the dust here at the Speed Palace. This would be a total upset if he would get the win in the A main event here a little bit later, but we got more racing. It's winning this heat race, he will make it into the dash, and coming down to the checkers, it's the 45 of Jeff Halligan.
His 2nd career heat race win with the All Stars and just his 8th appearance with the series. And with that, Jeff Halligan will lock into his 6th career feature with the All Star Circuit of Champions. Drew Ritchie comes home in 9th. He'll head to tonight's C main, along with the 2C of Dylan Sisney, who comes home in 8th. Cars heading to the Classic Inc. USA B main, 7th to the 35S of Jason Schultz, 6th to the 42 of Cy Lynch, and 5th to the 98 of Jared Esch. Cars locking into tonight's FloRacing main event here at the Keith Kauffman Classic, brought to you by Valley Supply. 4th to the 23 of Paul McMahon. He'll be in the dash redraw as the fastest transfer. 3rd to the 2 of AJ Flick. 2nd to the 69K of Lance DeWeese, and picking up his 2nd career All-Star Circuit of Champions heat race win. How about a round of applause for Jeff Halligan? Mobile One heat race number 4, getting ready to hit the track. On the pole, a 2-time track champion from Harrisonville, the Matt McKee Motorsports, John Ott Racing, the Alexander Financial Group, Cluxton Lumber Company 55W is Mike Wagner, and to the outside from Hanover, the Dryden Performance Products, Pell's Tire Service, C&D Rigging, JVI Group, number 1A is Jacob Allen.
Rolling off 3rd from Mechanicsburg, PA, the Water Treatment by Design Industrial Controls, 3B Services, Vector Industries, HP Engines, car number 07, it's going to be Lucas Wolf, and on the outside of him, he comes from Indianapolis, Indiana, and the NOS Energy Drink Turbo Z-Max Lubricants, car number 7 BC, it's Tyler Courtney.
Row number 2 to the inside. Great to have him back in a sprint car from Edders, the Traco Heavy Industrial, Mount Ridge Metals. Number 23C is Pat Cannon. And to the outside from Chicora, Pennsylvania, the Corel Recycling, Ridgeview Security, Laskowski Plumbing. Hobah's Auto Parts 40 is George Hobah.
Rolling off 7th from Liverpool, PA, in the High Tech Metals, Village Square Plaza, Mountain View Travel, Smith Titanium, car number 11S of TJ Stutz. And on the outside of row number 4, this driver comes from Origsburg, PA. In the Siroccoch Concrete, Blue Knob Auto, Alpine Building Supply, car number 35 of Tyler Reeser.
And your final starter, we'll see if he can make the call. I don't see him out there, was Ryan Smith. Had some problems in hot laps and time trials, and with that being said, we'll send it down to Brad with Jeff Halligan.
So we're with here heat race number 3 winner, Jeff Halligan. Jeff, you had a great start there off of turns number 1 and 2 and held off the likes of the 69K Lance DeWeese.
Yeah, we were really good there. I saw the top started cleaning off. Ricos looked like he was getting some good laps on the top, and a couple other guys that last heat race, and I figured I was going to give it a shot and got a good run off too, and that's all it took.
All right, well, set himself up in a good spot, and also $250 courtesy of Valley Supply. We'll spend it back up to you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brad Strasser, doing a phenomenal job. As all you great race fans that are in the infield, heads up, Miss Port Royal Speedway, Mariah Romeg is going to be making her way in with some Valley Supply Frisbees. We'll send it down to you, Brad, real quick. You can explain to the race fans of what those Frisbees mean if some race fan catches that here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Earl. So they're going to have numbers on the back of them. They signify a starting position in tonight's feature event. So you want to keep track of the number on the back of your Frisbee. And that is your driver for tonight's feature event. Keep track of them. If your driver is the hard charger, you'll win $30 courtesy of Valley Supply. There's also a diamond on the back of one of those Frisbees. You'll be an instant winner. You'll win $30 from Valley Supply and also a ticket to a future race here at Port Royal Speedway.
Thank you, Brad. Eric Walls, head of race control here for the FloRacing All Stars Circuit of Champions, letting the drivers know we're going to go green out the chalk line. They're in turn number 4. The 55, the legend they call him around these parts, Mike Wagner, he's on the pole. And then 1A, Jacob Allen, he's a regular with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. They rained out in Texas. He said, I'm going to Port Royal, see what he does here in the heat race. Contact there off of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Trouble! George Hobaugh flipping. The red flag is going to come out. The 40 of George Hobaugh getting upside down there in turn number 4. Also sitting onto the outside is going to be the 35 of Tyler Reeser. You see all-star officials and safety crew personnel making their way to the accident scene.
So the nose wing knocked off of the 07 of Lucas Wolf. He's on the inside of the, he's just to the left-hand side if you're looking at the Mike Kleck paving sign in turn 2. When George climbs out, we'll let you know. There he is. Yeah, George out of the car. That's good. George Hobaugh out of the car in turn 4. While we're doing so, always like to, let's give a tip of the cap and a round of applause for the Port Royal Speedway safety crew doing a fantastic job getting there quickly.
Volunteer service, they come up here each and every Saturday night. They could be doing other things, but they choose to come up to Port Royal Speedway to make sure everyone stays safe during a night of racing. Well, also, I see Brad Strasser down there at the accident scene. Brad, we'll send it down to you.
Who's in it, like 35 and 40?
And getting word that the 07 of Lucas Wolf, he's going to be going into the work area to try to get...
I would guess Reeser is going to go there as well with the nose wing damage on the 35. Head to the Indy Metal finishing work area.
So, Brad, you were just at the accident scene. Glad George Hobaugh was able to get out of that car underneath his own power.
Yeah, if you were watching turns number 3 and 4 as they were coming to the chalk line, cars were bouncing nose to tail off the front of each other here into turn number 4, and cars really slow to get started, and unfortunate for the 40 of George Hobaugh and the 35 of Tyler Easter and the 07 of Lucas Wolf all picking up damage, but the 40 of George Hobaugh and the 35 of Tyler Easter picking up the worst of that accident scene.
And you see the 35 of Tyler Reeser making his way into the pit area. Here's a replay for everyone tuning in on the FloRacing. You can see the 07 of Lucas Wolf on the bottom side jumped a tire, the 55 of your pole sitter, Mike Wagner, and then Hobaugh checked up. Reeser went above him. Hobaugh clearly didn't know he was there. Those two made contact, and up and over goes the 40 of George Hobaugh. Just a victim of circumstances looked like right there, Blake, on the start of the seat race.
Absolutely did. Georgia regular here at Port Royal, former All-Star regular, is 8th in Port Royal Speedway points is George Hobaugh. 37 career All-Star main event starts for Hobaugh, and he and his wife Nikki own Napa Auto Parts stores in the western part of the state. So they make the tow over here from western Pennsylvania. I see Mike Kleck in the house. He's down there. I'm sure he's causing some trouble.
Oh, Mikey Kleck, owner of Mike Kleck Paving and Seal Coating. I'm surprised he hasn't made his way into the press box just yet.
Kyle Rickey's watching online, and with that, I'm sure Frank Beers will probably be tuning in at some point, so we'll have to be a big week for Frank and Tam. We'll talk about that later if they're tuning in.
Yep.
Home track for Frank
Believe
Beers.
it or not, Frank Beers celebrated 2 birthdays in one night.
That's what I heard.
I'll explain that story.
Beers told me the story.
Did he? Yeah, all right.
He'll be here, I'm sure, for the Weikert because we're going to have Wing Nation here.
Oh, yeah. The Bob Weikert Memorial coming up here, and just
Trouble
right
in the
on
booth.
cue.
Trouble in the booth.
Yeah, security.
Mike
we need
Kleck
security
is in
to
the house.
booth. Mikey Kleck made his way.
We have trouble in the booth.
Oh, boy.
He's-
And here, and now, right on cue, too. Here comes cash money.
What are we doing tonight, Mike? Whatever we want. Oh, boy. Dealer's choice.
It's
Steve,
so here we go. Mikey always does this, and he adds right on to the hard charger.
All right.
So we'll make the hard charger tonight $500. So
Steve, you okay?
$200 courtesy from our friends at Valley Supply, and $300 courtesy from our friends at Mike Kleck Paving and Seal Coating.
Boo.
And just like that, he vanishes.
He vanishes. So if you are in the area and you need some paving done or a little seal coating, support Mike Kleck. The guy, every time we're here, he gives us hundreds to add to hard charger or whatever. So really appreciate it. The Klecks, I'm sure they have. I can't imagine they're having any fun down in their suite either.
Hey, Russ, when you get a chance, if you want to make that $500 for a charger.
Or so a complete restart coming here in heat race number what are we? 4. Jeez. I missed the counting class. It should be easy, Earl. It's all in one hand.
I gave you the money.
I know.
Oh,
I know. But this is it wasn't 4, it's 3, so I can get there.
What
3
was
for
I
Dale.
thinking?
That's how I remember it.
Can I get on the board of trustees for the trunk bar?
Yeah, boy. We got to have you guys out to Knoxville.
We'll be out.
I'm getting the trunk bar guys asked, where do we need to go this year? Kagan was asking me, and I said, it's Tusky 50 all the way.
I got to let you know that we got a pretty good trip set up to Knoxville. I'll obviously probably hitch a red eye after we're done racing on Saturday.
right.
Go out there for the Capitani Classic.
Boom.
And then Justin Snyder, he's going to join me out at Knoxville. We're going to go to the annual Knoxville Nationals golf tournament at Boss
Might
Landing.
have to, Boss Landing. I played Boss in high school.
Yeah. All right.
Fun.
Yeah. So
have fun.
So the Beer Hill Gang TV, we're coming out big.
We like it.
So Justin Snyder, Travis Emming, Jerry,
Flying
myself, Flying Phil. I'll let him drive the golf cart. But
is Flying Phil coming?
I gotta ask him. He's a very busy guy.
He's selling cars at Sealands Grove Ford.
Yeah, he is.
You
He's
can go
a very
pick up a
busy
new
guy.
Ford Raptor from him.
Yep.
The Mustang birthday today we
Yep.
talked about. You can pick up a new Mustang. They got a Mach-E. My parents drove a Mach-E a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. But here we go, Blake.
Let's race. Well, we got better things to do than talk about
We'll
Phil.
fill time in.
Yeah.
Filler. We'll get it.
Here we go. We're going to try it again.
T-Money, Tyler McKim, producer tonight for FloRacing.
Shout out to Tyler McKim.
How about it?
Specific shout out. Guys can't do it like him.
No.
He's with us a lot.
He's
here
a one
this
of a
year.
kind.
He is. He's one of a kind.
One of a kind.
He's going to be at about a good majority of our races on the wireless cam, but for some reason they're letting him produce. But anyway,
here we go. Lights are out.
7-pack.
Yeah.
8 laps, Earl. You're going to need both hands to count them. We're green at the PWR Cooling Technology start zone in turn number 4.
Jacob Allen and Mike Wagner bring him down to the green. Allen's going to get a great start. He'll lead the pack into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Pat Cannon. Battle for second off of turn number 2. The 23 looking pretty good. He's going to battle the legend, Mike Wagner. They drag race in the 3.
Pat Cannon on the move. 11th in Port Royal Speedway points. Getting comfortable back in a sprint car and looking good. Cannon into the 2nd spot. Battle for 4th. And that's a battle for the dash transfer. If Lucas Wolf can hold on to it, he's in the dash. If Tyler Courtney can get it, he's in the dash.
And now here comes the 11, TJ Stutz. Courtney got a little sideways down there on the backstretch. He's going to go down low. Here comes Mike Wagner. He's going to motor into that 2nd spot.
Man, Jacob Allen running away, but
Whew.
Here comes TJ Stutz now.
A slide job on Clausen. Clausen turns the car. He'll take that spot away. Now, here comes Stutz. He's going to go back down low. They drag race off of turn number 4. Close racing right there. Move the number 7 into 5th.
Tyler Courtney into the 5th spot now. Sunshine trying to move along and get back to Lucas Wolf for the final transfer spot and a spot in the dash. Lucas Wolf, a former track champion here in 2015, knows his way around the place. Sunshine in 5th. He's a USAC sprint car winner here without the wing.
We are halfway, 4 laps in, 4 to
Sunshine.
go. Sunshine, Tyler Courtney, absolutely ripping right through the middle. He's going to take away that 4th and final transfer spot. Now Lucas Wolf on the outside looking in. He's going to try to rip the lip there in turns number 3 and 4. Courtney, however, smooth and straight. He'll bring it back down to the line.
Tyler Courtney got back on the hammer. Lucas Wolf knows his way around this place, though. Is he playing coy? Sunshine pulls away, and it's 2 to go for Jacob Allen.
Jacob Allen pulling away from the rest of the field. He has worked up to a 2.5, make that 2.6 second lead over the 55 of Mike Wagner. Mike Wagner, he also has a pretty good lead over the 3rd place car, Pat Cannon. That's over 5 seconds, just a little bit. Now, white flag is out. 1 more lap to go on the 1A of Jacob Allen.
Jacob Allen hustling the Shark Racing 1A. Around Port Royal, sits 11th in World of Outlaws points. Right now, he'll lock into his 21st career main event with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. And with that, Jacob Allen also picks up his 3rd career heat race win with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. George Hobaugh will be credited with 8th in car number 40. He'll head to tonight's Computerman Inc. C main. Cars locking into the Classic Inc. USA B main. 7th to the 35 of Tyler Reeser. 6th to the 11T of TJ Stutz. And 5th to the 07 of Lucas Wolf. Cars locked into tonight's Valley Supply Keith Kauffman Classic. 4th to the 7 BC of Sunshine Tyler Courtney. Tyler will lock into the dash rejob by way of his qualifying time. 3rd to the 23C of Pat Cannon. 2nd to the 55W of Mike Wagner. Picking up Mobil 1 heat number 4. How about a round of applause for Jacob Allen? Final heat race of the night for the FloRacing All Stars Circuit of Champions presented by Mobil 1 is brought to you by Kistler Racing Products. On the pole from Clarion, Pennsylvania, the Del Grassos, R&B Auto Parts, Gio's Barbecue, Robert Lee Jr. Trucking. Number 29 is Michael Bauer. And to the outside from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, the Classic Rock Fabrication, MB & Son. ISU Insurance. Number 24 is the Madman, Kerry Madsen. 2nd
row looks like this, rolling off 3rd from Jonestown, PA. And the Moose's LZ Barn Grill, heavy equipment loaders and parts. C&D Rigging, Click Lewis Cars, car number 3, Z, it's Brock Zerfloss, and on the outside of him, rolling off 4th from Harrisonville, PA, and the Zemco Speed Equipment, Zemco Headers, DM Truck and Trailer Services, all things automotive, car number 1, it's Logan Wagner.
3rd row on the inside from New Oxford, Pennsylvania, the Leach's Automotive, BDI Auction Guys, Big Daddy's Grill Chill. Number 33 is Gerard McIntyre, and to the outside from Royersford, Pennsylvania, the Sunny Hill Trucking, TC Transport, Royalton Recycling. Number 17 is Steve Buckwalter.
4th and final row looks like this, rolling off 7th from Plano, Texas, and the Advanced Castone, Crown Battery, Fremont Fence, Wood Heating and Air, Viva Las Healthy, car number 8M, it's TJ Michael, and going shotgun on the field from Neptune City, New Jersey, in the Capital Renegade, Champion Racing Oils, Henry's Wrecker Service, car number 91 of Kyle Reinhardt. We'll send it down to Brad Strasser.
All right, so picking up the heat race win. A little bit of a bumpy start there to start things off on the initial green flag, but smooth sailing for you the rest of the way in that heat race.
Yeah, car felt great. Feels great to be here at Port Royal. There's people from Dryden, C&D, have those guys here too. So being at home, racing at Port Royal is pretty awesome, and I feel good. And being in the dash is a huge part of it, so that's cool. And see what happens from here.
All right, setting himself up well here and getting $250 courtesy of Valley Supply, Jacob Allen.
Final heat race of the night for the All-Stars, brought to you by Kistler Racing Products in Fremont, Ohio. Visit KistlerRacing.com for all your sprint car needs, from engines to wheels to rear bumpers. KistlerRacing.com or Kistler Racing Products Speed Shop in Fremont, Ohio on County Road 232. Tell Paul and Brian that the All-Stars sent you. Cindy Elliott is watching in Florida, and Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts is an authorized Featherlight, United, Intech, ATC, and Illumitech trailer and EasyGo golf cart dealership. Elliott's offers repair and service on all their products, and they carry a large line of parts and accessories. When you are ready to invest in a new trailer or easy-go golf cart, their friendly and knowledgeable sales, financing, service, and parts departments are prepared to make your experience outstanding. Contact Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts today at elliott'scustomtrailers.com.
Michael Bauer, Kerry Madsen, Brock Zierfoss, Logan Wagner, Gerard McIntyre, Stevie Buckwalter, TJ Michael, Kyle Reinhardt. Those are the 8 cars that make up the final heat race of the night, presented by Kistler Racing Products. Heat number 5 is green. 3 wide almost here on the front stretch as what a start by the 24 Kerry Madsen. Here comes the Jonestown jet. Brock Zierfoss trying to battle for the lead. Can't quite do it. Kerry Madsen leads him down the backstretch.
The madman to the point and on the high side. Brock Zierfoss rides in second. Logan Wagner in that 4th and final transfer spot trying to get into the dash by that spot. But Steve Buckwalter haunting the tail tank of the Zemco Speed Equipment 1. Now Buckwalter down to the inside. He'll rocket off the bottom of the 4th and final transfer.
Logan Wagner, he's on the outside looking in. He has to get by Buckwalter in order to make it in to the feature event. Close racing there off of turn number 4. Buckwalter has that 4th spot. He goes down low. Logan Wagner trying to make something work on the top side. Can't quite do it. Both of those drivers are closing in on their 3rd place car. It's going to be the 29 of Michael Bauer.
Cars ripping around Port Royal, and Kerry Madsen trying to lock into another dash. He was in the dash last night as they continue to get faster and faster. You've seen Madsen here in weekly action, Earl. The Madman sits 6th in points at Port Royal, but the battle for the final transfer continues to be a war. Logan Wagner in the 1 going after the 17 of Steve Buckwalter.
4 laps in and 4 to go. There goes Stevie Buckwalter down low. There's a normal position where that Zemco number 1. He loves it. He loves rim riding around the Port Royal Speedway. You can throw a blanket over the 3rd place car, Stevie Buckwalter. He's going to put a bid down low. Michael Bauer. They drag race off of turn number 4. Bauer leads him back to the line, but he leaves the bottom lane open. Here comes Stevie Buckwalter. Now here comes Logan Wagner.
Logan Wagner back into the top 4. He'll lock into the dash if he can hang on to that spot as the laps wind away. This time by, it's 6 down and 2 to go. And Kerry Madsen pulling away. He and Brock Zierfoss. Madsen and Zierfoss over a straightaway and head of 3rd place, Steve Buckwalter, and here comes Logan Wagner.
Wagner has a run on Stevie Buckwalter. Water down low. Here comes the pilot in the Zemco number 1. Rim riding around off of turn number 4. He's going to turn the car. Both those guys drag race down the front stretch, though. Buckwalter slams the door on the bottom side. It turns 2. Meanwhile, your leaders make their way in 3 and 4.
Kerry Madsen picks up the heat race win. The Madman and Michael Barschinger have been clicking this weekend. Madsen with a 2nd place run and an 8th place run already this weekend. And with that, TJ Michael comes home in 8th. He'll head to tonight's Computer Man Incorporated C main. Cars heading to the Classic Inc. USA B main. 7th to the 91 of Kyle Reinhardt, 6th to the 33 of Gerard McIntyre, and 5th to the 29 of Michael Bauer. Cars heading to tonight's Valley Supply Keith Kauffman Classic. 4th goes to the 1 of Logan Wagner. He's the fastest transfer, so he'll be in the dash redraw. 3rd, to the 17 of Steve Buckwalter. 2nd, oh boy, my counting's off. 4th to Wagner, 2nd to Buckwalter, or 3rd to Buckwalter, 2nd to Zierfoss in the 3Z, and we can tell you the winner. He's rolling to Brad down in turn number 3. Kerry Madsen winning heat race number 5. We'll send it to Brad.
Thanks, Blake. He's getting the helmet and everything off here, but picking up the heat race win. He's been very hot the last couple of weeks. Kerry Madsen. Kerry, you looked really good in that heat race and put yourself in a good spot here in the dash.
Yeah, car was pretty comfortable early. Lost a little right rear grip at the end of the run, and so hopefully we can, we're chasing this track a little bit when it gets really super slick, and getting the dash will be good for us to work in our race car. But car was quick, thanks to my Barschinger Racing, and let's see what we can do.
All right, well, putting himself in a good spot and $250 courtesy of Valley Supply. Back up to you guys.
And now the Selinsgrove Ford Limited Late models making their way out onto the Speedway. They will have 3 heat races here this evening. They will go 8 laps the distance. 6 cars will move into their 25-lap A main event. 3 drivers will be handicapped for their starting spot also in the feature. This is how they will go to the post, starting on the pole. From Three Springs, PA, in car number 19, it's going to be Danny Atherton. And alongside him, this driver comes from Mechanicsburg, PA. In car number 24, it's Dalton Bigler.